Sunido, Charmaine Ulay, from University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Hi! Hi!
Hi!
Okay, before we start with our presentation, I'd like to ask the crowd a few questions. Number one, sino dito ang may significant other? May boyfriend, may girlfriend, may ka-MU, yung mutual understanding or talagang malanding ugnayan lang? Sino? Siya, raise your hands, guys. Okay. I'm gonna ask, like, ate, sa likod. Ikaw, ate. It's just a simple question. Would you ever consider, kung ready ka na, mahal mo ang tao, na makipag-live-in sa partner mo? Would you? Yes or no? Yes. Could I ask you why? In one sentence. Kasi mahal niya? Doon niya mas makikilala. Excellent answer. Thank you. Sino dito ang hindi makikipag-live-in kahit mahal naman niya tao, ready na siya? Sino dito? Ate, why? Okay. Okay, so yun yung bahay si ate. I get it. Ba't makikipag-live-in? So, good afternoon guys. My name is Athena, and my groupmates and I will be reporting on living in, why people do it, what they feel towards others who react to their relationship as a couple, and how they relate to each other. Next slide, please. First off, what is living in? A more formal word for that is cohabitation. It makes sense. In a habitat, you live with each other. Cohabit. Living in is, yung pinaka-simple na explanation, legal term, it's living consensually or with permission with another person without the benefit of a civil or religious wedding. It's also, alternatively, an alternative form of union. It's not that different. It's not different at all from married couples. And our last definition is, it could also be a phase in your relationship where you test each other if you're ready to be married. Yung answer ni ate kanina, I wanna see if we're compatible with each other, and then we're gonna get married. Next slide, please. What happens to cohabiting couples? Yung question ng partner mo sa'yo na, what's next? What will happen to us now? Ang options ng cohabiting couples, one, they could marry. Number two, break up. And, whip out the Adele albums. Number three, continue living in with each other. Next slide. Why is there need to study living in? Ngayon, if you think about it, ang living in sa Pilipinas, it's smaller than in other countries, diba? It's not as popular. But, since psychology, yung textbook definition niya that's been hammered into our brains since first year is that it's the study of human behavior and thought processes. We need to understand the totality of the human experience. Ngayon, living in the Philippine context, it hasn't been that studied. Kasi konti lang. Ngayon, the need for the study is, since konti lang sila, they're a marginalized sector. And dahil doon, we need to give them a voice to understand them better. To provide a deeper look on the processes and experiences that happens to couples when they decide to live in together. And finally, to facilitate a deeper understanding of Philippine couples living in together. Next slide, please. Ang study naman namin has 3 questions. Number 1, why do couples live in together? Why not marry? Why not just stay boyfriend-girlfriend and since you have different houses naman? We'll put that under motivations. That's one domain ng study namin. Second, how do they treat each other? And what are their experiences living in together? How is it different from married couples? Basically, let's put that under dynamics, how they treat each other. That's one more domain. And the last, how do they see themselves perceived by others? And how do they react to this? How do they think the people around them see their relationship as a cohabiting couple? And how do they react to this? Kung positive ba dahil cohabiting couple sila or negative? Next slide, please. Ngayon, ang procedure namin, ang study namin, it's qualitative. So, interview siya with 8 couples from the lower SES or socio-economic status and middle SES. So, comparative study siya. And ang ginawa namin, transcribe namin yung interview, and we wanted to see kung anong themes ang malalabas doon at anong yung meanings doon. We had heterosexual couples from the middle and lower SES from 17 to 47 years of age residing within the Metro Manila area, urban setting, urban couples. ang relationship status nila either currently cohabiting or married, but they cohabited before, and they are married now for not more than 3 years. Para fresh pa sa kanila yung cohabitation experience nila. Next slide. Will be discussed by my roommate, Lychee.
Ayan, sir, hi, I'm Lychee. Tapos ngayon, didiscuss na natin kung, didiscuss na natin kung ano ba yung naging resulta ng pag-aaral namin, yung pananaliksik na ginawa namin. Una, para sa motivations, diba, yung tanong na nakalagay doon, bakit nakikipag-cohabit o bakit nakikipag-live-in itong mga couples na to? Yun. Una, kasi, early pregnancy, may maagang nabuntis, at naging salient siya sa lahat ng aming mga na-interview. Tapos, at ikalawa, yung convenience. Kasi, makikita dito na since galing sila sa lower or sa middle SES or socio-economic status, kailangan nilang pagsamahin yung pera nila para makapag-provide pa sila doon sa anak nila, magiging anak nila or sa family nila. At since, yun nga, maaga na buntis, kailangan alagaan. Tapos makikita natin dito sa quotes na nilagay natin. And na-affirm siya nung literature na bilang isang consequence of economic necessity at nagkakaroon ng alternative models of traditional family. Wala siyang pinagkaiba, maliban nga lang sa wala siyang legal na pagsasama. Hindi siya yung married sila civil or Jewish. Dalawang bagay, convenience at early pregnancy. Sumunod sa dynamics, paano sila nakikipagtungo sa isa't isa? Ano yung pinagkaiba o yung pagkakapareho nila sa mga married talaga, sa mga kinasaya talaga? Una, meron silang gender roles na sinusunod. Yung mga gawain pang lalaki pa rin. Yung mga gawain pang babae pa rin. Kung para sa kanila, ang mga lalaki, siya yung nagtatrabaho, lalaki yung magtatrabaho. Kung ang babae yung magluluto, babae yung kailangan magluto. Na nakikita natin sa karaniwang pamilya or karaniwang married couples na married talaga, ganun yung nangyari. Meron gender roles na na-assign. Ikalawa, sa decision making naman, consensus to, at dalawa sila, sasabihin, kunwari yung isa, may gustong gawing desisyon, sasabihin niya sa partner niya, tapos saka sasabihin ng partner niya, sige, ano ba yung pros and cons ng desisyon na to? Paano natin mas mapapabuti itong desisyon na to? Pinag-uusapan nila dalawa. And lastly, no. Ayan. Yung dulo, may fears and anxiety sila. Takot sila kasi since wala silang hindi sila parang secured dun sa relationship kasi hindi nga sila legal na ikinasal eh. May takot sila na baka bukas hiwalayan ako nito. Meron kami isang participant, sabi niya, in-acknowledge na yung takot na yun na natatakot ako kasi mahal ko siya. Ay, ito. Yun, natatakot akong iwanan niya ako kasi mahal ko siya. Pero, ang salient din dito, hindi na nila hinahayaan na itong takot na to maka-apekto sa relationship nila. Parang, yes, I acknowledge the fear na ayoko siyang mawala kasi mahal ko siya, kasi kailangan ko siya sa buhay ko. Pero, hindi ko hahayaan itong takot na to, ma-apektuhan yung relasyon namin dalawa. Pero kinabukasan, may takot pa rin siya. And lastly, sa attitudes. Hindi na nila iniisip kung ano ba yung sinasabi ng ibang tao sa kanila, though they acknowledge na mayroong negative perception about them. Makikita sa quotes natin na parang, hindi ko na iniisip, wala akong pakialam sa kanila, pero may acknowledgement na masama yung tingin sa kanila. May iba, sinasabi, lalo sa galing sa mga babae, ang tingin sa kanila malandi, or ano ba yan, nakasama agad, hindi pa naman kasal, ganyan. Or dahil nga given na maaga silang nabuntis, ano ba yan, mga naglumati agad, bata pa. So, ayun, ngayon, nakita natin kung paano namin siya
So, yun, ako si Chang. Yung papakita ko naman is conclusion sa tatlong domains na pinag-aralan namin. So, una, attitude. So, yung katulad na sabi nila, yung merong acknowledgement na negative yung tingin sa kanila. Yun nga, nagbigay siya ng example na malandi, nakasama agad, di pa kasal yan sa una, may anak, gano'n. Pero, kaakibat no, ng pag-acknowledge na yun, ay nakakagawa sila ng isang mechanism kung paano mag-react to this perceptions or negative attitudes sa kanila. So, ang makita namin is passive coping, kung saan nakagawa kami ng isang framework. Ito, yung merong, sa relasyon nila, merong the other, tapos meron naman yung family and friends. So, makikita natin, kulong yung family and friends, tapos konti sila. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung negative attitudes, oo, alam nila na tinitignan sila bilang masama, pero pagdating sa ibang tao, pag ibang tao yung nagbibigay ng comments, for example, sa community, kapitbahay, or yun nga, mga kasama nila sa community, hindi na nila pinapansin, or parang sinasabi nila, anong pakialam namin sa kanila? Hindi naman sila mahalaga sa buhay namin. Pero, ang binibigyan nila ng importansya ay yung sasabihin ng pamilya at ng kaibigan. So, kahit nag-live-in sila, gusto nila na merong hindi naman consent or parang sort of approval from the family of both sides and the friends. Na parang doon nila mas nakikita na tanggap yung relasyon bilang another new family form. Next, on motivations naman, nakita rin natin kanina mga rason bakit nag-live-in ng isang couple. Responsibility or convenience. Yun nga, isang rason lang yung early pregnancy dun sa responsibility na merong need na panindigan yung mga nangyayari. Tapos convenience kasi from our sample, may mga low SES and mid SES. So they have to pull their income para mas maging efficient sila as parents dun sa magiging kid. Next is dress for compatibility prior to marriage. Kaya alam natin na kabahagi ang cohabitation ng isang script sa pagbubuo ng relasyon from dating, papuntang cohabitation, tapos nagiging katuloy ng marriage. So our participants, marami sa kanila, or from mid SES, tinitignan nila ang cohabitation or living-in bilang isang proseso or isang test case for their compatibility or kung viable ba ang relasyon para sa isang kasal. At lastly, ito naman ay isang matigkad na motivation para dun sa mga kalahok namin galing sa adult group. Kasi from 1748 yung age group ng kalahok namin, so hinati namin sila sa young adults and adults. So itong last ay matingkat para sa mga adults, yung legally unable to marry due to prior marriage. Kasi marami sa kanila ay nagkaroon na ng prior relationship, merong naunang kasal, pero dahil naunang kasal na yun, hindi nag-work. So nahanap nila yung isang tao na yun nga, sinasabi nilang mahal nila o gusto nilang kasama habang buhay. Nagkakaroon naman ng conflict na hindi na pwedeng magpakasal. Dahil sa Pilipinas, walang divorce, or kung merong annulment, pero isa itong mahaba, masalimuot at masakit na proseso na hindi lang kailangan ng time, kailangan din ng resources, pera. So, yun, kakibat din ng convenience na parang mag-live-in tayo dahil hindi tayo makapagpakasal. So, yung responsibility, matingkad siya sa lahat ng SES at sa lahat ng age group. So, yun yung pinaka-primary na motivation kung bakit nag-live-in. Tapos makikita natin dito, katulad ng nabanggit ko, yung SES at age group ay salient at merong interaction dun sa mga klase ng motivations na nabubuo nila kung bakit sila nag-live-in. And last,
First, we'd like to call our group mate, Keisha Kakdak, na nakatayo dyan sa tabi. Keisha, please come in. So, muli, ang summary ng study namin ay for motivations.
For motivations, yun nga, nakita natin na convenience and early pregnancy, yung primary motivator nila kung bakit sila nagle-live-in, and for dynamics.
Gender roles na meron pa rin mga gawain pang babae at pang lalaki, decision making bilang isang proseso kung saan kailangan mo konsultahin yung partner mo bago kayo makapag-come up sa isang magandang desisyon na makakabuti para sa inyong dalawa at sa pamilya. At ang huli ay fears and anxieties na ina-acknowledge natin na may takot na baka mag-end itong relasyon na to, pero hindi natin itong hayaan na maka-apekto sa relasyon.
Okay. For attitudes naman, they state and acknowledge na masama ang tingin sa kanila bilang cohabiting couples, that it's less than married couples. But they make this mechanism where yung mga tao na others sa kanila, who don't matter, who aren't part of their friends and family, it doesn't matter what they say what you want, I don't care. Ang nag-matter lang, yung family and friends nila. Yun yung mechanism nila to cope with all of the negative attitudes toward their union. So, thank you.
Keisha. Parang ikaw yung